Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Just jumping back into things with the rental team that we've been using. Today will probably be the second to last episode with it, with tomorrow being the last, and then I'm going to try to feature a brand new team with the start of the weekend. This team has been really fun to use. I've been using it for around a week and a half or so now, but it is definitely a little bit different from the other teams. Because we're going to find Andy from Texas with a rating of 1663. So if you're interested in this team, of course, you can check out the QR code linked in the description below. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll be posting an update video this weekend talking about my plans for YouTube, Twitch, and internationals and worlds in terms of real life coming up soon. So yeah, look forward to that. Got some fun stuff planned. But Andy here has the typical fake PG, which is, the Arcanine, Tapu Fini, or I guess in order, Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Kartana, Electric type, and then Porygon, Gigalith. So typically against these team comps, I go Garchomp, Aerodactyl with Buzzwole and Tapu Koko in the back. You could make a case for Raichu, but Trick Room setting up here would be really bad, and that's the main concern. So Aerodactyl can taunt the Porygon, and you can also Skydrop Porygon, bring in Buzzwole, and just go for Z Superpower. And because Arcanine's a really big threat, and most of the times opponents will bring it, I bring the Garchomp and Tapu Koko, just because with Garchomp, Tapu Koko, and Aerodactyl, I can hit for really hard damage. Whereas with Celesteela, I'm basically really useless against Arcanine, and so if you have Celesteela and Buzzwole against Arcanine, you're just kind of sitting around. So I think I'll lock in. That's typically my strategy. I probably go with these four the most. Now, if there were a Tapu Fini, I would consider bringing the Raichu, because then I could double Electric type attack into the Porygon with the Z move and the just the Thunderbolt. But because there is Tapu Fini, not having terrain is a big deal, and it's important enough that I don't think. Basically, I think I've talked about this while I've been using this team, but Raichu, although the Raichu is important enough where you pretty much need electric terrain, it's kind of. It's a lot more. It hits a lot less stronger if you don't have electric terrain up. Of course, you can take advantage of psychic terrain since it is part psychic type and does have the psychic attack. But let's see. I'm gonna go with Garchomp and Aerodactyl here, and we're gonna see Arcanine, Porygon too. Okay, that is okay with me, I think here. First of all, we need to see if Porygon's analytic or not. Intimidate comes out, so that's a great Intimidate for my opponent, obviously. And there's the download. Okay, so not analytic. Gonna give it an attack increase. So I could Skydrop, or not Skydrop. Taunt Porygon and Earthquake. My opponent might just expect the taunt. You can imagine Arcanine here might want to protect. Yeah, because if my opponent knows my team, then you know I'm Scarf, but otherwise you might fear the Z move and just try to block the Z move. So there are some mind games instantly here. I ran out of time here. This is not what I wanted to do, but I'm going to switch into Tapu Koko, expecting to protect from Arcanine, and taunt the Porygon. Because I want to guarantee Trick Room doesn't go up. I also want to pressure with Garchomp later on in the game. So let's see. Okay, Arcanine switches out. That's also fine. Into Tapu Fini. I'm okay with that because Tapu Koko pressures Fini a lot more. And I do want to conserve Garchomp for later. So that works out pretty decently. I'd guess Porygon's not going to Trick Room here, but we'll see. Yep, it just went for the Ice Beam. But better safe than sorry. Into the Aerodactyl slot. That does a ton of damage. No freeze, fortunately, at least. So I do have Specs Thunderbolt, so I'm just going to launch that into the Fini slot. I could Tailwind here. There's not much use for that, I guess. Do I really need Aerodactyl at this point? I just don't have great switches to Ice Beam. Yeah, I think I'm going to Thunderbolt and just Rock Slide, because that covers any switch options. I can double up onto the Fini for a knockout, can also flinch Porygon. I really don't want to switch into Garchomp right now. Fini switches out, okay. Back into Arcanine. Gigalith comes out, okay. So I do know all of my opponent's 4 Pokemon now, and Garchomp is pretty decent against all of them. The only thing is, actually, I missed the Rock Slide on Gigalith. I mean, that doesn't matter too much. That should raise my special defense here with Aerodactyl, so Ice Beam might not knock me out. We'll see. No flinch there. Ice Beam comes out onto Aerodactyl. Yeah, it still picks up the knockout. Okay, that's fine. Because what that does mean is a free switch in into my Buzzwole. Although it is a little bit unfortunate because if I hit the rock slide, I think another Thunderbolt would probably knock out the Gigalith. So I know all 4 of my opponent's Pokemon now. Aerodactyl didn't do as much as I would have liked, and Celesteela would have been pretty good here if I could have prioritized knocking out Arcanine, but that's exactly why my opponent conserved it. You'd imagine an Arcanine switch-in is going to come in now. But I think Porygon's still taunted, yeah. So can't really do much there. If I'm my opponent, I'd probably switch out Porygon here. Yeah, so I think the safest option is just the Thunderbolt that slot. And superpower the Gigalith slot. I don't want to Z-move quite yet, because I want to save it for Porygon. Yep, so Porygon switches out into Arcanine. That's fine with me, because I think 2 Specs T-Bolts should probably knock it out, even without Electric Terrain. And if Gigalith doesn't protect, then Superpower should just knock it out here. But it does protect. Yeah, so I didn't want to waste the Z-move there. I could have doubled up into the Porygon slot, maybe. That actually could have been a better play. But I didn't want to risk Gigalith not protecting and getting an attack off. Yeah, so that does just around 75%, which procs Arcanine's Berry. But with Sandstorm, I'm pretty sure another T-Bolt should knock it out. So I do like my position a lot here, I think. Although, unless if Arcanine hangs on from the Thunderbolt, that could be quite bad. And I am obviously down 4-3. But that Thunderbolt looks like it did enough. So I am just going to launch another Thunderbolt into that slot. And because I'm not PP max, I actually have to kind of worry about Superpower PP, which is funny. The obvious switch-in is for Gigalith into Porygon. Or sorry, Tapu Fini here. But I don't want to risk it. I'm just going to Superpower that slot again. Even if it switches out into Fini, then it'll do some chip damage where Koko can finish it off with the Specs Thunderbolt. So the combination of Tapu Koko and Buzzwole is really pressuring my opponent right now, especially because there's no, I'm basically faster with Tapu Koko with everything, against everything on my opponent's team. And Buzzwole, the only thing I have to really worried about speed-wise. I guess Arcanine and Tapu Fini both could be faster, but Tapu Koko covers that option. I do kind of wish, no, actually doubling into Arcanine wouldn't have made much sense. Since I would have been intimidated, I would have knocked it out. But Arcanine actually switches out, back out into Porygon, okay. So that's going to eat a Specs Thunderbolt. With Electric Terrain up, though, would have been nicer. And it does give it a special attack increase. It's actually a double switch out, which probably was the best play for my opponent. Right now, I'm just getting free damage off, though, so I don't mind that. So here's Thunderbolt. Still does a sizable amount. And Superpower coming out. Also doing an okay amount. Of course, now the threat is my opponent can go for a Z-move. Or not a Z-move, sorry, a Trick Room. And I'm at -2 attack with Buzzwole now. So the fear is Trick Room going up. It's leftovers Fini too. Okay, that's good to confirm. And Scarf Jump in the back, you know, not too great to have when you want to click the Earthquake button, but you can't really. So that was also a good play. I probably should have been aggressively predicting my opponent's switches a little bit more. So the question is, can a Fighting Z move knock out Porygon in that range at -3? I feel like it should be able to. This is tricky. Tapu Fini could protect, obviously. I feel like Porygon's going to switch back out here, and Tapu Fini's going to protect. But I can't just lose Buzzwole. I'm Z-moving here. That's probably not the best decision, though. Yeah, Porygon does switch back out. Probably out into Arcanine. Yeah. We'll see if Tapu Fini protects here. Still not the end of the world. Okay, so Fini does protect. So basically I get free damage off against Arcanine now. Yeah, so this is okay, because I actually don't give a free switch in until a Porygon. Basically, Gigalith's really important in this matchup, so I think next turn I'll probably switch the... Sorry, not Gigalith. Buzzwole is really important here. So next turn I'll probably switch Buzzwole out. Yeah, it's just like I need to be predicting my opponent's switches, but I really also don't want to play risky. Like, I'd rather play safe, and even if I'm, like, trading with my opponent, I'm still in an okay position, like a manageable position. We'll see how much All Pummeling does here to Arcanine at -3. Wow, it almost knocks it out still. It's impressive. Okay. So that's fine. Yeah, that's actually completely okay with me. Basically, I need to conserve Buzzwole to win this. And Buzzwole got hit by Sandstorm before Arcanine and Feeny. So I'm actually faster with it. Interesting. But I'm at -3 attack now, so I think I'm inclined to switch out. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is just... I kind of want to Thunderbolt the Tapu Fini slot. Yeah, I like that, because I know I'm faster with Buzzwole now. So I'll Thunderbolt Tapu Fini and switch into Garchomp. Fini, of course, could protect, and Arcanine could just go for attack, but then I have Buzzwole and Garchomp both at neutral now. Maybe I should have Thunderbolted Arcanine to just get rid of the Intimidate option, though, because that is rather annoying. We'll see if my opponent lets me just knock out Fini. Like, I was originally going to Thunderbolt the Arcanine slot, but I was like, okay, I actually want to target down Fini here. Because, also, if my opponent Flare Blitzes the Buzzwole slot, then it'll faint from Recoil and Rough Skin. So Buzzwole will switch out, meaning Arcanine and Fini are staying in. Garchomp's coming in. It's going to be a tight finish. Okay, no Protect, nice. So Specs Thunderbolt here should just knock out the Tapu Fini. Nice. That's good. That's a major threat to Buzzwole out of the way. And Flare Blitz, perfect. Regardless of who it targets, I think Arcanine faints here from Recoil. Yeah, so it knocks out the Tapu Koko, but I'll take that trade any day because now I get the free switch and back into my Buzzwole. Yeah, perfect. So we trade. This is like the first time where everyone loses a bunch of Pokemon, but that's okay with me because now Buzzwole just comes back in for free. Yeah. I think we should be good here because unless Porygon is Protect and Gigalith Z moves me. That's the one fear, I guess. Misty Terrain also isn't around anymore, so I can just end the game with Dragon Claw. Yeah, Porygon's under 50%, there's no Intimidate anymore, and Gigalith's taking damage. So, yeah, basically, like, this game, I've just been chipping away at my opponent's Pokemon. Download here is going to give it a special attack boost, but I don't have to really worry about that because I conserve the Buzzwole, and Buzzwole now is back at neutral attack. Well, the Superpower is only at 2 PP, but I will just Superpower here, and I don't want to risk locking a Scarf Chomp into a Gigalith that has Wide Guard, so I'm just going to Dragon Claw here. So, yeah, Superpower into Porygon, I should be faster. Dragon Claw into Gigalith, pretty clear cut. Unless, for some reason, Porygon's faster than Buzzwole, but I'm pretty sure that should not be the case. So I should be able to just pick up 2 knockouts, or not 2 knockouts here, but Gigalith doesn't win against Garchomp. Like, it has nothing for it. Even if you have Curse, like, you know, normally Gigalith's going to run Rock Slide, Stone Edge, maybe Earthquake. And given that it's already taking damage, I'll be able to out-damage it. So I think this should be good. If Porygon doesn't have Protect, then I definitely have nothing to worry about. We don't see Protect come out, so yeah, that should just be game. And Dragon Claw there actually still does a really good amount to Gigalith. Superpower here should knock out Porygon. Yes, as it does. And basically, yeah, that last turn was the key turn where my opponent didn't switch out, didn't Protect with Tapu Fini, and lost the Arcanine. So that was like the perfect case scenario, and I was like, okay, if all of that happens, then I probably just win the game, which is what's going to happen here. We do see the Z move come out from Gigalith, which is probably the best option. But, you know, with Garchomp out on the field, like, fortunately, conserving Garchomp was pretty important. So turn 1, like, switching out Garchomp was rather important to conserve it, getting the free switch into Tapu Koko. Like, Tapu Koko was really important in this matchup because how it outsped everything and just got free Thunderbolts off against everything. So we'll see if Continental Crush knocks out Buzzwole. I'm at -1 defense. It probably does. Yeah. Buzzwole's defenses are okay, but not good enough there. But now it's Garchomp against Gigalith, and Garchomp will take that matchup any day. So, just going to go for another Dragon Claw, and that should be game. Unless Gigalith has, I don't know, like... No, even if I had, like, Hidden Power Ice, I would not knock out Garchomp. Since Garchomp's defense is, especially special defense, is actually decent. Gonna go for Protect, just to prolong things, I guess, but not much you can do there. Yeah, that's why I locked myself into Dragon Claw instead of Earthquake. Because if I used Earthquake, then I actually could have been PP stalled with Wide Guard, since this Garchomp isn't PP maxed up on that. Although suppose Earthquake actually would have just knocked out Gigalith, so maybe I should have just done that. But I didn't want to risk, yeah. Earthquake might have actually been fine. But, like, that's one of those positions where it's like, you have the guaranteed win with Dragon Claw. Since, like, there is no tech move Gigalith can have, really, that can threaten the Garchomp. So, kind of long and drawn out game, but we do pick up a win. Pretty methodical there. Like, overall, no RNG, which was nice, and it really just came down to some reads. You You know, I played safe for the most part, but I kind of wanted to play safe just because I didn't feel the need to make any aggressive reads throughout the course of the game. Of course, I think basically I could have been playing more aggressive with both Buzzwole and Tapu Koko when they were out, since I had the speed advantage and my opponent was forced to react to me. Could have been predicting switch outs a little bit better, since I knew I was faster. But I wanted to conserve the Buzzwole because basically the way I lose that game is if Porygon sets up Trick Room. The only way it sets up Trick Room is if it's in a position where I don't have the resources to double target, knock it out in one hit. So this next team, I think this is Sejum Park's old team, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember the sets on that at all. And my opponent chose his team really quickly. So Porygon Z, Kartana, Gastrodon, Muck, Arcanine, and Tapu Fini. So I think it was like Scarf Porygon, Band Arcanine, Specs Fini, if I remember correctly. So I could go Garchomp Aerodactyl here, since my opponent doesn't have any ground resists. Celesteela is kind of tempting here, but Tapu Koko feels like Tapu Koko and Buzzwole just feel too important not to bring. So I might just go with the same form that I typically go with. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Like, Raichu is tempting, but the thing is, against a Porygon, which might carry Scarf and a Gastrodon, and even a Kartana, all those are kind of annoying to deal with. And basically, Raichu is too frail. Like, he gets one attack up, then it faints in return. So if you're not getting a Z move out for a knockout, then it kind of doesn't bring enough momentum. So I think I'll go Garchomp, Aerodactyl, Koko, Buzzwole, just because it's the most consistent option. Celesteela you can make a case for here, especially with the Kartana. But that means I'd have to give up one of my main means of offense. So I don't really like that too much. So we're going to go with the most consistent four. Yeah, the thing with Celesteela is it's like, oh, if you can check the biggest threats, then it can really win you games, but it never really puts on too much pressure offensively unless it's Flamethrower against Kartana, which means it kind of just sits in and tries to direct attention towards it. So I'd rather just bring 4 Pokemon that I know can hit really hard. So I'm going to go Garchomp and Aerodactyl with Tapu Fini and Porygon Z from my opponent's end. Okay. So one, I'm wondering if that's Scarf Porygon. I'm rather sure it is. Yeah, I think this is just Sajin's team, but I'm not sure. I could Skydrop, Tailwind, but I also kind of want to catch my opponent off guard. But Garchomp feels too important to just give up turn 1. If I had... Let's see. If you're my opponent, you probably just draw target down Garchomp. I don't really have any safe switch-ins. So I think I'll try to prioritize knocking out Tapu Fini here. Yeah, I'll Poison Jab and Rock Slide here. I'd hope it specs. Okay, so no Protects come out, which is good, or Switch Outs. Oh man, that's not going to knock out Tapu Fini though. And that is Scarf Porygon, yeah. I thought Poison Jab Rock Slide would knock out, otherwise I should have Tailwinded. And maybe switched out. That's not good. Yeah, Fini hangs on with a decent amount, actually. And it does go for a Muddy Water. Which means now... Yeah, that was like the worst case turn 1. No accuracy drop, at least. So I know Porygon's locked into Ice Beam. That was really bad. Yeah, I have to bring a Tapu Koko here. What I should have done was Tailwinded with Aerodactyl just to guarantee I have the speed boot, or yeah, the leg up on speed. I could have Skydropped maybe. That wouldn't have made too much sense though, because Porygon would attack before me. I think I'll probably switch Aerodactyl out here because I want to see if I can set up Tailwind, although it's probably unlikely given this situation now. Good Discharge, but there is a Gastrodon in the back. I don't want to lock myself in a Specs Discharge. I might have to, though, which kind of sucks. Do I want to Discharge myself? And then I would knock out Buzzwole. No, that doesn't make much sense either. I wish I had Protect right now, but I don't. Dazzling Gleam, and switch into Buzzwole. No, I ran out of time. I wanted a Tailwind. Because I think Porygon might Ice Beam the Tapu Koko slot. Okay, just targets the Aerodactyl. So that's okay, but yeah, I don't know. It's a kind of an awkward endgame position here. And I don't knock out Porygon, which might work in my favor. We'll see. Like, Tapu Koko and Buzzwole definitely can close out this game, but really depends on what my opponent has in the back. Yeah, it's Arcanine. That's really bad. Because you can just Flare Blitz into Buzzwole. I forgot, yeah. So basically I need to conserve Garchomp better. And by not going for an electric type attack, like that's pretty bad too. Maybe I should have just locked myself into Thunderbolt. Because that could at least knock out Arcanine. And okay, that's banned Arcanine if I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's not much I can do here other than hoping my opponent throws. And for some reason targets down Tapu Koko with Arcanine instead of Buzzwole. Maybe my opponent doesn't know I'm Spexed. Ice Beam comes out. Yep. Yeah, so I should have locked myself into Thunderbolt, especially because I thought it was banned Arcanine, because I was like, oh, this looks like Sagen's theme. Oh, sorry, no, it was Fire and Z, right? Wait, I'm faster! Okay. Maybe I just knock out the Arcanine then. We'll see. This Arcanine is more offensive, I'm pretty sure. We'll see. Oh, if it knocks it out, that would be huge. It did take around 40% from the Dazzling Gleam. Ho ho ho! Wow, this Buzzwole's a beast! Just knocks out Arcanine in one. Okay, I thought I lost that game for sure, but now I'm actually maybe in it, because Buzzwole's at neutral and it doesn't lose defense either. So we'll see what my opponent's last one is. It's Kartana. Yeah, I think I just win here. Dazzling should go off beforehand, and Superpower should finish it off, regardless of what set it's running here. And it's not Scarf, so Tapu Koko gets... I think my opponent needs hope for a crit, but even so, 2 Dazzling Gleams might knock out the Kartana. Yeah, oh my gosh. It's gonna Leaf Blade, but yeah, that's game. Huh, I thought Arcanine would be faster than Buzzwole for sure. And I was like, wait, that Arcanine Z move? I thought it was banded. Although it might have been Z move on Sagen's team. Actually, now I think about it, I think it was Z move. Which is why I was like, oh, it's just gonna go for the Z move and doesn't even take any recoil. But, yeah, I could have played that a little bit better. Like, I led poorly, and I think I should have Tailwinded, because with Tailwind up, at least I know I'm faster than everything with Buzzwole and Tapu Koko in the back, which means I can play a little bit safer. But I guess ultimately, that actually did matter at all, since my Buzzwole was faster than the Arcanine, was able to pick up the knockout even with the Intimidate, which really speaks to Buzzwole's strength, but that Arcanine was obviously a little bit more offensive, which is why I'm surprised it wasn't like max speed, although I think this Buzzwole is kind of speedy too. But yeah, if it were bulkier, like, because Dazzling Gleam, you know, it resisted and it did like 35%, and then Superpower or Z Superpower was able to just knock you out. Of course, the all pummeling from Buzzwole, probably one of the strongest attacks in the game that you could use, but still, definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting to just lose Buzzwole there, and I was like, that's game. But that's why you play things out, right? Might as well. And, you know, I didn't know, you can hope for your opponent messing up there as well. That's always a win condition. Like, you should just never give up until the game says it's over, and so, unless you want to conserve information, of course. But yeah, definitely kind of a surprising win there. I think I played relatively poorly, especially because like the first turn was relatively telegraphed. It just didn't help that I had no free switch-ins into Ice Beam. So what I could have done was maybe lead Raichu, but not Tapu Koko, and have Tapu Koko in the back, and then switch in turn 1 while fake outing the Porygon. Because then I pressure with 2 Z moves, or sorry, I pressure with Specs Koko and a Z move on Raichu. And my opponent ended up not bringing Gastron on either, so then I could have just, you know, used electric type attacks everywhere, since I would have been faster too. But yeah, hindsight's 2020. That was kind of a nutty game. A lot quicker than the first one, and definitely kind of unexpected win there, but we'll take that. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I think tomorrow, like I mentioned, will be the last episode using this team. Of course, you can check out the information in the description below, and we'll also be posting an update video this weekend regarding my plans, future plans for the channel, really just for the summer, and Twitch and whatnot. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.